Good evening from St Cwyllog's Church in Ynys Môn in Wales. St Cwyllog was a female saint from the 6th century, and the original church was a small timber structure, and it's said that St Cwyllog lived in a roundhead near to the church. Cwyllog was the daughter of St Caw, a king of the Brythonic kingdom of Ystrad or Strathclyde, which is now part of southern Scotland. There's actually an indirect connection to King Arthur, as Cwyllog is said to have been married to Mordred, the treacherous nephew of King Arthur. Mordred is said to have died at the Battle of Camlan whilst fighting the forces of King Arthur, and it was following this event that Cwyllog decided to follow a religious life. Sadly, we won't be going inside as the door is locked. In affectionate remembrance of, I can't make the name out, it starts with an L, the beloved wife of Reverend Arthur Williams, Vicar of Llangullog, who died February 1st, 1879, in her 57th year. The memory of the just is blessed. I'm guessing her husband is also named, but on the other side here. In memory of Reverend Arthur, it's actually Ellis, not Williams, Vicar of Llangullog, and Coedana, that's another church nearby, who died 10th of June 1894 maybe, aged 80. In sacred memory of Betty, dear child of Owen and Mary Parry, Bryn Gwyddon, died February 2nd, 1932, aged 3. Also, her father, Owen Parry, died May 21st, 1971, at the age of 73. Peace, perfect peace. There's quite a bit of history to the area. There was a hoard of treasures of Irish influence which dated back to the Bronze Age that were discovered in this parish, as well as a hoard of Roman coins. And it was also the site of a battle between Viking mercenaries from Dublin and King Owain Gwynedd, or Owain the Great. This battle would have taken place in the late 12th century. Another notable event. My own mother was born about half a mile away in this direction, and I understand that my great-grandparents were married in this church. There's a headstone here that's been laid on its flat. It used to be standing up, I guess. Deborah, infant child of Alvin and Barbara Williams, Coedana Vicarage, 14th of July 1859. The children of Michael and Dorothy Parry, Tre Rhys, parish of Bodedern. William, who died March 2nd, 1823, at 2 years old. Elizabeth, who died February 10th, 1831, at 14 years old. And Anne, who died 21st of April, 1842, at the age of 23. And Dorothy, who died July 1843, at the age of 20. Very sad. There's a lot of American viewers commenting on the slate headstones, how they look pretty much as good as new, even after, I guess 200 years in this case. If you live in the northeast west, you'll probably see some slate headstones there as well. Somebody made a comment in my previous churchyard video that it was unusual that people were buried above ground. You've obviously seen a grave similar to this. The body wouldn't have been placed inside this, the body would have been buried 6 feet down, I guess. Just that the headstone is quite grand on the top. Okay, I've come across a very old grave here. Anne Pugh, wife of Thomas Jones, died 17th of March 1762, aged 77. There's always the possibility that I might come back here. So if there's anybody locally watching and there's something I've missed, please let me know. Underneath are deposited the mortal remains of Mary Pritchard, the late wife of John Pritchard, Tyn yr Onnen, in this parish. She departed this transitory life on the 26th day of February in the year 1834, in the 64th year of her age. Sometimes you could see like faint lines so that they could make sure that the lettering all lined up. But quite often you don't see those lines at all. In remembrance of Margaret Winifred Parry Davies, dear bride of John Davies, Gate Farm, Bodedern, the one who died October 4th, 1885 at the age of 55 years. And her husband is named on the other side in sacred memory of John Davies, Gate Farm, Bodedern, the one who died February 19th, 1914 at the age of 85. Parts of the present building date from around the year 1200, with other sections from the 1400s. And this annex to the right was added in the 1500s, possibly intended as a schoolroom. And there's an unusual feature inside. There's a spy hole, which you can see the comings and goings inside the church. The bell actually dates to the year 1662. And it's a shame we can't go inside. There's a font there which dates from 1170 to the year 1200, and it's believed that it was King Griffith ap Cynan who sponsored this font. In memory of Elizabeth Owen, dear bride of Owen Tynewydd Talwn, the one who died May 22nd, 1897 at the age of 64. Very large headstone here, which is in pretty good condition, in memory of Eleanor, dear bride of William Jones, who died January 18th, 1917 at the age of 71. William Jones, and this is interesting, he was the mayor of Bootle, a town in Merseyside, and he was the mayor there in 1887, and he was the High Sheriff in Ynys Môn between 1901 and 1902, and he died August 9th, 1918 at the age of 78. Also their dear daughter Marion Eleanor Jones, who died May 18th, 1944 at the age of 64. I looked into the history of William Jones, and he was a carpenter who moved to Liverpool around 1860. He did extremely well there and was known for buying large estates and creating new housing developments on the land. He started out in Bootle before extending his activities into Liverpool. He was given the nickname of William Klondike. This came from his wealth and the prosperity brought by his developments, and also a nod to the Canadian Klondike gold rush. His streets were named after his family members and Welsh places. He was well liked and respected, and was a religious and fair man. Although he was born in a nearby village, he's buried here, as his parental grandparents lived in a nearby farm called Havotsi, and his maternal grandparents lived at a farm called Penrhenoir, both of which are walking distance from the church. The parish has seen depopulation over the centuries. If you went back centuries, most of the population probably lived quite close to the church. Okay, sorry we couldn't go inside, but I guess that's going to happen from time to time. Okay, we'll see you next time.
When the sunlight hits my face, it won't be long till the time I can't forget when I felt strong. But until the night I'm in your arms again, I don't wanna get my hopes up in the air. All the way I thought that you'd be here with me, though I messed up everything I aimed to be, on the borderline of something to call sad. Keep my back